In this tutorial series, we're making a low poly hot rod. It's aimed at beginners, but not complete beginners. So if you are a complete beginner to Blender, then check out the Monster and the Man tutorial series. It's a much better introduction. And if you want full courses with a great methodical approach, then check out the links in the description, especially if you want to learn how to make more complex car models, and you can try out this particular course. So follow along with me making a low poly hot rod. So I'm in a completely new startup file, and I can start with the default cube as the body of the car. But what I'll do first is to bring in some reference images so we can easily trace around them. You don't necessarily need these, but if you're just starting out, it can be a useful skill to learn. It's very easy to bring in a reference image. You can just click and drag the reference image from your folder. So click and drag into your scene like this, and it appears in there like so. Now it's coming in line with the camera, so we need to remove any movement and rotation and put it into position. So Alt R will remove any rotation, and notice you can see my screencast keys down the bottom corner here, and Alt G will remove any movement. So we got it nicely in the middle there. I'll press R to rotate, X for the X-axis 90 degrees, so it's now upright, and press enter, and then I can place this into position. So I'll scale it up a little bit. Let's go to front view with 1 on my numpad, G to grab, move that up into position so that red line is actually in line with the red line in my scene. So that's a nice position there. Now if I move around my object slightly, it's best to have the reference behind the object. So G then Y, I can move that back, and that's in a nice position now to trace around. Now for side view, I need to copy this one and turn it around. So Shift D to duplicate, and you can see I've got a duplicate just there. And then I'll press RZ90, so it rotates around the Z axis 90 degrees, and you can see I've got 2 of these now. Let's go to side view with 3 on my numpad. You can go to the different views with the Cartesian coordinates up here as well. And if I press G to grab, I don't want to move it in the Z axis at all because it's already in the right position. So I can press escape to cancel any movement there. But if I press G then Y, I can move it across. So now we've got it roughly in the position we want, maybe somewhere around here. So I can move the cube into position. So I've got my references lined up now, and I can start modeling with my cube just here. So you might want to pause the video there, just catch up with me putting your reference images into position. Okay, so let's now select the default cube. I'll go to side view to start with, and let's move this into position. So G then Z, and I'll just scale it down so it's roughly the same size as the model. Now, if I press N on my keyboard and go to item, you can see the exact sizes, and you might want to make this perfect dimensions. So figure out the size and length of the car and so forth. I'll leave that up to you to do. I'm just going to model fairly freely at the moment without worrying about sizes. So I'll press N to get rid of the side panel. And obviously the car is symmetrical, so we can do a mirror modifier down the middle here. There's a nice quick way of doing this. Obviously, the long way is to go into edit mode with tab, cut it in half. So let's do a loop cut across the middle here. I'll press escape because I don't want to do that just at the moment. Delete half the shape and then add my mirror modifier. But there's a nice quick way. If you go to edit preferences, and I believe it's in the add-ons with Blender. If not, just check in get extensions, but should be in the add-ons with Blender. Just type in auto and you should see the auto mirror there. This is the nice quick way. So tick that, close this down, and it should be saved. I press N on my keyboard now, go down to edit, you should see the auto mirror there. And if I open this up, I can say which axis I want the mirror to be along. So that's the X axis across here. And the orientation, I want to keep the positive, which is this side here. And you can see that from the Cartesian coordinates up the top here. So if I press auto mirror now, it cuts it in half for me and adds the mirror modifier, which you can see in the modifiers here. There is the mirror modifier just there in the X axis. It's also turned clipping on for me, so it's stuck in the middle and you can't move these vertices either side. So it's a nice starting point. So again, you might want to pause the video. If you haven't already, enable the auto mirror add-on and just check that it's in the X axis in the positive. So pause the video and catch up. Okay, let's actually start modeling. So I'll go to side view again, and I want to be able to see through my cube. So I'll press Alt Z so we can see through to the background, and I can start positioning some of these vertices. Now, if I left click to select a vertex, press G to grab, you can see it's only selected one. So I'm not going to do that. I'll cancel that. I need to box select them. So click and drag across them. And then I can press G to grab, move that into the corner there. This one up here, select both those with box select, move that into position. This one down here, I'll move that to the corner here. So I'll create this line across here in a moment. And this one here, I'll just bring it down as if it's a straight line like so, and then we'll extrude out a section here. Let's now go to front view and see if we're lined up. That's not actually too bad. So I'll just select these, G to grab in the X, so G then X, and move those inwards like so. Okay, so that's looking good, although it looks like my reference is not quite in the center. You can see they're slightly out. So back into object mode, select my object here, G to grab in the X, and hold down Shift for small increments, move that across so it's lined up nicely. What you also might want to do with your reference images, just note I've got my reference image at the back selected here. You can go to this object data properties just here, and you can turn on the opacity and make it slightly see-through. So fade it into the background a bit more. It helps to be able to see your shapes in the front. So I'll select this one as well, turn on the opacity and bring that down as well to somewhere around about 0.4. So I can still just about see it in the background there, but I should be able to see my cube a little bit more easily. There's a few other things you can do within here, like make it only visible in certain views and so forth, but I think that's the simplest way, just using the opacity. Okay, so let's select our cube once again, and I'll go back to side view for this. And there's a few loop cuts I can make across my shape. One across the middle here for the windows, and we need an extra extrusion out the front here, so Control R. Oh, I haven't gone into edit mode yet, so I'm in object mode at the moment, so tab into edit mode, then Control R to do the loop cut. And you can see I'm moving my mouse to say where I want the loop to be made. Left click once to say I want a loop cut going across there, then you move it into position, and then left click again to set into place. And I'll not be completely accurate, that's roughly all right, so I'll create another one underneath it. So Control R, again, one here, left click, move it into position, left click again to set it into place. So that's great. And we've got this sort of shape, as you can see here. Then we want to extrude out from the front here. So I'll go to face mode, select the front face here, back to side view, E to extrude to bring out a face like so. That's going a very slight angle there. So I can go to vertex mode with 1 on my keyboard. That's vertex mode up here. Select these bottom vertices and G, then Z to move them up very slightly. Hold down Shift for smaller increments, and that's in position nicely. This one I'll just press G to grab and move that by I, somewhere around there. Looks good. Again, you can be a bit rough with these things. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now I've got another loop cut going across here. So Control R to do a loop cut across there, and that's absolutely fine. Another one down here. So Control R to do a loop cut across there, and left click again just there. And you can see the window is in here. So I'm creating an opening for the window. So Control R for a loop cut across here, bring that across, and that's looking fairly good. And one at the front. So Control R for the loop cut, bring that across. So there, excellent. It's hard to see from my reference there, but there's a window just here, and this is actually the back window that's indented. So we need a loop cut down here. So again, I'll go to side view, Control R to do a loop cut there. So this is the window opening here. This is another one here. We need one going across the top here. So again, Control R, bring that up there. And we've got our shape. It's a little bit out from the reference, but there's no need for these particular ones to be skewed. I think that's absolutely fine. Now I have this strange sort of boot compartment at the back here. Not really sure what I was doing when I was modeling that, to be honest. So I'm going to just do a fairly normal shape coming out of here, maybe from this point here. So I'm going to select these, G to grab, in the Z, move that up, and 3 to go to face mode. And you can select the back face like this, or you might want to go round to the back and actually select it like so. But with that selected, I can press E to extrude, bring that out, and I will go to vertex mode with 1, select these vertices, and G to grab in the Z and bring those down. So that's sort of like a boot compartment there, or a trunk, I think it's called in America. We call it a boot in the UK. And having a look, maybe these can go up a bit higher. So G then Z. Yeah, I think that makes a bit more sense for them to go up to about here. So I've got my basic shape there for the main seating area for the car. So you might just want to pause the video, catch up if there's any differences in yours. I'll just quickly move around the object so you can see it nice and easily. Okay, so the next bit, let's go back to side view. I want to do my roof just here. So I want to go to face mode to select the top faces. And I'll show you a different selection technique because it's a little bit awkward to click and drag across there because I'm not quite selecting them. I can shift box select these ones, but I have to do that all the way up. Instead, let's zoom in a little bit, somewhere around here. I'll just press N on my keyboard to get rid of the side panel, and then I can zoom in a bit further. What I'm going to do is Alt A to deselect all, and I'm going to hold down Control and right click, and you can lasso select That's quite a handy one. And I'll try not to get the ones underneath, just the top ones. There we go, like so. And I've got all the top vertices like that. That's one way of doing it anyway. There's other ways, but just thought I'd show you that way. So I'll extrude this out. So let's go to side view again, extrude it out like so, up to somewhere like here. That's great. And I want to extrude all these ones going around here. So another selection technique is to, in face mode, so I'm in face mode at the moment, choose one of the edges going across the loop that I want to select. So this is the loop around here I want to select. If I hold down Alt and select one of the edges going across it, like so, I can select the entire edge loop, and then I can press Alt E for extrude, and then I can extrude along the normals. So extrude along the normals, I can bring it out like so. Probably around about to there. I really ought to be doing this from side view. That's a bit better. And that all looks fine. Now you might notice in my roof, you can see it's just jutting up, which is these faces from here. And if I hold down Control, I can select from one to another face, selecting all the ones in between, taking the shortest route. So I can select all those and just bring that up slightly. So G, and just bring that up by hand somewhere around there. Although it's a little bit high now. So let's lasso select these top ones here. And then just G to grab, and I'll hold down Shift and bring it down. So we're roughly following the reference. Okay, so that is creating the roof just there. And I like the way that looks. Let's just sort out the windows now. So we've got these faces from here. So we've got this one, and this one are windows, and at the back here, but we need a loop cut down the side here so we can have some sort of frame just there. So I'll come around to the front here, Control R to do a loop cut, bring that across, and left click to put that in place there. So somewhere around there, and then I can select all these faces. I should be able to do this at the same time. So these faces all the way around here, and again, Alt E to extrude along the normals. So the normals is the face direction, and I can then move those inwards, and they will become windows. Hold down Shift if you need a little bit more control. So somewhere around there, and let's press Alt Z to come out of X-ray view, and we've got the main part of our car just there, which is looking great. Now there are ways to add a little bit of detail to this, and it can get a little bit more complicated with things like bevels. You don't particularly have to do this part, but you might be interested in what it will look like. So I'll show you that technique. I want to take this corner. Oh, let's undo that and go to edge mode and then select the corner, sorry. And then I can press Control B to bevel, and you can see that's creating a curve, and I can use the wheel of my mouse to create an extra cut. However, I'm going to undo that. So I'll press Escape. I need to create a bit of space. So I'm going to select this one and press G to grab in the X, or you can actually press GG for edge slide, and it will slide across like so. And then I can select this corner here and Control B to bevel and use the wheel of my mouse to create an extra loop in there like so. And you might want it nice and smooth, so maybe go for 2 like this, but just be aware that it's creating a little bit of complexity when you do that. And yes, I think 2 looks good. So I'll left click just there to set it. Just be aware that you've now got this strange end gone across here, as you can see. Well, that's easy to fix because I can go to vertex mode, select these 2 just here and press J to join. And that's filled it in. We have got this strange looking vertex just here. We can tidy this up. We don't necessarily have to, but we can do a bit of tidy up with the knife tool, pressing K and then cutting in here. Again, you don't actually have to do this because it won't really make that much difference. Lots of people will be screaming at me now saying, what about the quads and so forth? But when you've got n-gons, they're called, these multi-sided faces on a planar surface like this, it doesn't actually matter. And all our surfaces with any sort of triangles or n-gons on are actually planar, so they're flat, so it doesn't matter. So I'll undo that just to show that it doesn't make any difference. But if you want to tidy up, use the knife tool in there, and that's great. Now you might want to do that at the back as well, maybe create a curve at the back, but I'm going to leave it sharp for now so you can see the difference and decide which one you prefer. Okay, so that is the main part of the vehicle. As always, take a good look and catch up with me making any changes you need to make so that you've got something similar. If you haven't got the bevel here, don't worry, it won't make a huge amount of difference. It's just an aesthetic quality, so it might look slightly nicer with a curve, or it can look just as good straight. So that's the first section of making the car. Hopefully you're enjoying the process. If you've got any questions, then do comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.